Hey, it's Amanda Marie. This is an update of Ascending Alps because currently I'm experiencing overwhelm paralysis. So I wanted to talk to you all about what that is. And, Ascending Alps, the whole point of Ascending Alps is to show you all sides of the journey, good, bad, pretty, ugly, all of it. It's all about constant ebbs and flows. So my last update was pretty positive, and this isn't necessarily negative. Actually, I take this as a positive because I'm going to talk to you about how I'm about to untangle myself from this overwhelm paralysis. And I'm going to start by sharing a poem that I wrote yesterday because 'tis the season. It is the holiday season, and we always feel guilty for feeling anything but happy this time of year. So this is a shout out to anybody who may not always be feeling completely cheerful right now. Darling, won't you smile? It's the best time of the year. Put your stress aside, embrace the cold outside, and fill your heart with cheer. Some say merry, others say happy. 'Tis the season for only well wishes. Gifts are exchanged, gatherings arranged. Patience is found by even the Grinches. Family and friends spread far and wide come together and share traditions. We get to eat and trade sweet treats, and when carolers sing, we listen. But there's something about this season that always seems to go unnoticed. Behind the gifts and clever riffs are so many other emotions. They always seem to remind us to fill our heart with cheer. But what are we supposed to do with sadness or with fear? Decorations, expectations, the show has just begun. So where do the feelings we didn't feel go when we're done having fun? This here isn't a message meant to turn you into a Scrooge. I'm not trying to shrink your heart 3 sizes or turn your holiday blue. This is just a reminder that even this time of year, it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay not to always feel cheer. So once again, this was just a little reminder that right now, this time of year, it's a beautiful time of year. There's a lot of cheer, a lot of happiness, but there's also a lot of nostalgia, a lot of sentiment. There's just as much loss as there is gain, and it's okay to feel. It's okay to feel all of the feelings, and it's okay not to feel them yet if you don't want to feel them, which is why this is my reminder that if you choose to tuck them away and embrace the cheerfulness of the holiday season and not face whatever feelings or emotions are creeping up on you, please don't lose them. Please don't tuck them away and then forget about them and give them the chance to sneak back up on you when you least expect them. Tuck them away, maybe journal about it, write them down so that you can come back to them and process them later. Because I say this all the time, you have to feel so that you can deal, so that you can heal. Feel, deal, heal. Feel first, then deal with it, then we can heal from it. And it's okay if you're not ready to heal from it, then we don't have to attack them yet. But it's not okay to forget about them and to just leave them tucked away deep inside of you, letting them just slowly fill up until they finally boil over. And that's not a fun thing when we, explode. I say it all the time, only so much air you can put in a balloon before it pops. It's true. So if you're going to tuck them away, please don't forget to come back to them. But if you are choosing to allow yourself to feel them right now, don't feel guilty or shame for not being happy or cheerful if that's not how you feel. Feelings are real. You're allowed to feel them. But the point of feelings and emotions are that we're meant to feel them per moment and then, release them and allow them to move on. So that's just don't forget that. Anyway, overwhelm paralysis. That's what's happening right now. I have a lot to do. It's the holiday week. I have a lot of cleaning I have to do. I have some cooking I have to do. I have some wrapping I have to do. I have work I have to do for work because just because it's the holiday week doesn't mean that my life stops. I still have a lot of stuff that I have to do. So I'm feeling a little stressed, feeling a little anxious because, it's like, where do I begin? There's just so much going on all at once. And yeah, so sorry, let me just take a quick pause. I decided to show you how I use the 5-minute timer method to get myself out of overwhelm paralysis. So what you see is me setting a 5-minute timer to tackle different parts of one room of my house, which is just one thing on my checklist of many things that I have to get done. I started with just the toys, moving the trash aside and not even allowing myself to tackle that at first, because when I stop doing one task to do another, I sometimes forget what I was doing and get too far behind on what I want to get working on. And then I start spiraling, which is what I'm doing right now. So let me circle back to say, I set different 5-minute timers
timers for the couch area, the toy area, the windowsills, and for vacuuming. So in 20 minutes, I was able to tackle this one room in different areas of the room in little increments to get it where I needed to be. It's a long way to go still from getting done everything that needs to get done, but it made it all look less scary.
Okay, I am back, and that was the 5-minute timer method. That is how I got out of my overwhelm paralysis today. And I figured instead of just talking about it, why not actually do it myself and show you how useful it is while I do it? That just seemed way more efficient, showing you that I walk the walk instead of just talking the talk, because I could have just kept laying on this couch rambling about getting out of this state. And you would have never known if I actually utilized any of the stuff that I rambled on to you about or not. But now I told you what I was doing while doing it myself. And you know what? Like I said, that just makes everything look a little less scary. So I tackled the room that was the most overwhelming for me overall. And I did it in one little bit as a time. So you saw me set multiple different timers for multiple different areas of this one room. And I only focused on one aspect at a time. And you might have noticed that I didn't leave the room that much. And that was because once I leave the room, I find myself stumbling upon other tasks at times and then coming back to all of this stuff that I left behind and shaming myself for not getting it done. And it sets me back and just emphasizes the overwhelm paralysis. So I try not to leave the room once I set that timer. At the end, you might even have noticed that I took out the blanket and pillows that I was using to cuddle up on the couch. I folded them initially, and then I waited until I knew that I was done with what needed to get done in here within that time frame that the timer was set for. And then I removed them from the room and stepped out of the room at the risk of finding something else to distract me in the bedroom or elsewhere in between. So that's my little tip for you, is to kind of separate the tasks that you have. Not even kind of, do that. Write out a to-do list. It's super satisfying to watch yourself check off a to-do list and half check things. This is something that really helps me. I will check that I got something started and then also check that I got something completed, because starting something is half the battle. So instead of shaming myself for not finishing it, I'm actually just going to be proud of myself for starting it. So you saw me tackle just this one room, which was just one of the many things on my list. I am now going to go and utilize this 5-minute timer method on a bunch of other things. I'm going to wrap some gifts. I'm going to clean up some other areas of my house, and then I'm going to go grocery shopping, which I have a whole different set of tips and tricks for because the timer method doesn't necessarily work in that aspect, but I do have some things up my sleeve that we could talk about if you're someone who goes in the store and finds yourself going down every aisle and not being able to just focus on what it is that you need to get. So yeah, drop it in the comments if you want to hear a little bit more about that. And for now, I'm feeling pretty happy about this update. Actually, this was very satisfactory for me. I can check this off my list as another thing that I've been wanting to get done, and that's putting more content out. I really am looking forward to producing more content. I'm so grateful for each of you that tune in. If you are enjoying this, please remember to like and subscribe. So that's really it. Overwhelm paralysis, it doesn't have to take over you, but do make sure to take care of yourself. So if you need to take a break and rest and kind of process what actually needs to get done before you can even begin getting it done, that's fine. Start with one thing at a time. Don't try to do it all at once. If you try to do it all at once, it's physically impossible. Of course, you're going to be overwhelmed. So again, it's a stressful week. It's okay not to feel okay all the time. If you're stressed, you're anxious, nervous, scared, whatever it may be, sad, allow yourself to feel all those feelings. Allow yourself to be here for you in whatever way that you need to be, and only get the things done that you know that will benefit you. So if there are things on your list right now that aren't going to benefit you or make your life, your family life, or any of those in your immediate realm of, your everyday life, if it's not going to benefit you directly in that sense, then it doesn't need to get checked off the list right now, because life is hard as it is. We don't need to add more complications for no reason whatsoever. So do what's best for you. You got this. Thanks so much for tuning in for another update of Ascending Alps. I'm going to continue riding this excitement of getting stuff done and move on to the next thing on my checklist, and I hope that you're able to do the same. So thank you so much, everyone. Once again, I'm Amanda Marie. Love and good vibes. Love and good vibes.